In this video, we discuss the recent suspension of a scientific survey by the Philippines in the South China Sea. This decision follows reports of dangerous harassment and aggressive behavior from Chinese Coast Guard and Navy vessels. The Philippine Coast Guard announced the suspension after an incident involving 3 Chinese Coast Guard ships and 4 smaller boats. These vessels made aggressive maneuvers towards 2 inflatable boats operated by the Philippine Bureau of Fisheries. The Philippine boats were en route to collect sand samples from Sandy Cay, which is located near Thitu Island, a territory occupied by the Philippines. During this encounter, a Chinese Navy helicopter hovered dangerously close to the Philippine vessels. The situation marks the ongoing tensions between the Philippines and China in the disputed waters of the South China Sea. For years, these two countries have faced escalating confrontations over territorial claims in this strategic area. China asserts that it claims almost all of the South China Sea, a vital waterway for global commerce, through which approximately $3 trillion United States dollars of trade passes annually. This claim overlaps with those of several other nations, including the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam. The International Court of Arbitration at The Hague has declared China's claims to be without basis. However, China does not recognize this ruling. In light of the continuous harassment and safety concerns posed by Chinese maritime forces, the Philippine Coast Guard decided to suspend the survey operations. Despite the dangerous confrontations, the Coast Guard reported that no accidents occurred during the incidents. In response, the China Coast Guard issued its own statement. They claimed that China has indisputable sovereignty over the Spratly Islands, including Sandy Cay, which is referred to as Tiexian Reef by China. According to their account, they intercepted the Philippine vessels and drove them away in accordance with the law. The Chinese authorities stated that the Philippine boats had entered waters near Tiexian Reef without permission and attempted to land illegally to collect sand samples. Thitu Island is approximately 430 kilometers or 267 miles from the major Philippine island of Palawan. It is more than 900 kilometers or 560 miles from China's nearest landmass, Hainan Island. Chinese forces have established a garrison on Subi Reef, which is in proximity to Thitu Island. In a separate but related event, Philippine forces successfully resupplied and rotated troops stationed on a grounded Navy vessel at 2nd Thomas Shoal in the Spratly Islands. This vessel, named Sierra Madre, was deliberately grounded by the Philippines to assert its claim over the area. Recently, the Philippine government raised concerns regarding Chinese Coast Guard ships patrolling closer to the main island of Luzon. They described these actions as an intimidation tactic by Beijing aimed at discouraging Filipino fishing activities. However, China refuted these allegations, with a foreign ministry spokesman stating that the patrols were conducted in accordance with the law. Despite the ongoing tensions, Manila and Beijing held discussions on January 16th, where both parties agreed to seek common ground. They expressed a desire to find ways to cooperate, despite the disagreements that persist regarding the South China Sea. This situation puts stress on the complexities of international relations in the region and the challenges faced by nations in asserting their claims over disputed waters. The ongoing developments will be closely monitored as both sides navigate their respective interests in the South China Sea.